KSFR Coffin Radio.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Coffee and Radio. I am Heartthrob Rob, and joining me today is the one, the only, the villain, Marty Scurll. How are you doing today, brother?
Nice to meet Heartthrob.
Heartthrob Rob.
Oh, I like that.
Brother.
Hell yeah. Do you give yourself that name, or does someone give you that name?
You know what? It's actually my IG name, and the very first time I called it was one of my coworkers called me Heartthrob Rob. And
okay.
I made Instagram that day, and that's the name that popped in my head.
And
it's stuck.
I like it. It's funny how names stick. Yeah.
It is, for sure. And I mean, for you to be the villain, you're a badass, man. You're out here looking like $1 million out in Southern California.
I know. I'm a little bit worried about sweating in this California sun.
Look who you're talking to.
Yeah. But you've got to look good for these things. You've got to look good for these things.
And dude, you've had such a career. I mean, you've been everywhere from PWG to New Japan, Ring of Honor. You've made your mark all over the world. Literally, that's not even a quarter of all the things you've done. You know what I mean? You had spent some time in PWG. What was it like there for some of the matches you've had?
Dude, PWG was really cool, man. Because, dude, I still remember the first time. Because coming from the UK, like sort of back when I started, it was really, really hard for guys to break out into the US or break out in Japan. That was kind of like a forbidden thing. It was like only one or two guys really kind of broke through to the States, when I was younger.
It was Finley and,
Yeah, it's like Bulldog and then Finley and Regal. And then
that was it.
That was it, So it was always my dream to go to America. Like going back to my childhood, I was so infatuated with America, watching, American TV shows and listening to American music, and everything I seemed to enjoy seemed to come from America. So I sort of gravitated towards that, and I was like, I've got to go to America. So I remember first time I got an email saying, hey, would you like to come to Los Angeles for Battle of Los Angeles? I was like, whoa, this is awesome, And what's funny about PWG is they had this crazy kind of wrestling style and, lots of crazy maneuvers and everything else. And I'm like, I don't really wrestle like that. So I was thinking, how do I go there and be different? I think the fact that I didn't wrestle like that actually helped me stand out a lot there. I went there and I gave them a character and I showed them a side of professional wrestling they've really seen before, that sort of the British European style, obviously mixed with more modern style and everything else. But things really took off for me after going to PWG in Los Angeles. And they unfortunately the building in Reseda, it got knocked down. But that was such a cool building. It's only small. They'd pack 400 or 500 people in there, but
sardines, man.
Yeah, it was. Everyone's there drenched, sweating.
Yeah.
But there used to be, so many celebrities would turn up. It was like the hipster thing to do, and I remember wrestling in front of all these different celebrities, and such a cool place just to like control the room, And I always felt like I had the crowds kind of in the palm of my hands there. It was, really, really special company. I don't think PWG gets enough credit for. Its influence on the business, Now I feel like now pretty much all the independents are kind of like similar to PWG. They kind of stole their formula. So I don't think PWG really gets the kind of credit it deserves. Plus, it discovered so many talents. Like I might not be here now if it wasn't for PWG giving me the opportunity. So once again, I'm forever grateful for them.
Yeah, man. And that was a crazy moment. Like you said, that moment was etched in time. Mm-hmm. Another moment that was etched in time is. You were there for All In, the precursor to AEW. That's where, hey, all the guys, we can't fill in this 10,000 seat arena. Yeah. We're all going to do it. And you were a part of that. What was that like for you to go through to be a part of that amazing show?
Sorry, I had to cut that bit. Dude, that was awesome. It was funny, man, because it was an idea like myself and the Bucks and Cody, Hangman, Kenny. And I remember the day the tickets were going to go on sale, and I was like, we were in the car together, and we all predicted how many tickets we think we'll sell. And it's like, I think maybe 2,000 tickets today. So I was like, Fred, I was like, I think we'll do 4,000 or something like that today, And I was like, I think we'll sell out, but maybe not till the day of the show. Sure enough, we're in the car, and I think it was like 10 minutes later, the whole show is sold out. So it's kind of unheard of, Now, since AEW and everything else and New Japan coming in, that might seem like not such a huge deal, but at the time it was crazy. Do you know what I mean? Like it was pretty wild. So dude, that was a special time, special moment, a show that will go on in history. I'm so glad I got to be a part of it. I got to help with some of the creative of the show as well, which was super duper cool, to give our influence and everything else. yeah, I mean, it was, it kind of changed the course of professional wrestling to where it is now. So, sometimes it takes those sort of big risks and people, going out there for stuff like this to happen, So, no, it was awesome, dude. It was really, really cool.
Yeah, you guys pulled off something that hadn't been done in over 2 decades, something
Yeah.
like that, right?
Yeah,
besides
yeah.
WWE selling 10,000 tickets to anything, damn near,
Absolutely, and I think it was a big part of it was people looking for like an alternative to WWE. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
WWE's so dominant and so good at what they do for so many years. It's like for 3 or 4 guys or 5 guys, 6 guys to come along and put something on like that. I think people wanted to get behind it and support it, and yeah, it was an incredible show, incredible time.
Hell yeah, man. And I feel like you were the part of, everybody was like bringing their promotion with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you were kind of the Ring of Honor arm of it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And at Ring of Honor you had Villain Enterprises. Can you kind of tell us about that, your time at Ring of Honor a little bit,
Dude,
and it being such a kick-ass crew like that?
Sure, yeah, no, well, Ring of Honor, man, like, I had such a good time there, Towards the end, I was booking there as well, which was super cool. Ring of Honor, again, I talked about PWG, Ring of Honor, another company that may never get the credit it's due for this influence on the business, All the top wrestlers now, they all came from Ring of Honor. Do you know what I mean? Again, I was so blessed to go there. For me, it's so cool to go to someone like Ring of Honor and show the audience something they've never seen before, like this like British wrestler with the villain character and everything else. Dude, and like Ring of Honor was great. Like people, say, "Oh, do you want to go to WWE? You want to do this?" And it's like, well, maybe, but like this is awesome. Like the schedule is so good. Like the work was so much fun. The pay was really good. Everything else, for the schedule, it was amazing. You know, and the fact, I'm really glad now that it's been picked up by AEW, and that should hopefully kind of live on through them. And I think they'll do a really good job of continuing like the legacy and preserving the history of Ring of Honor, and yeah, like later on, being part of the booking and everything else, I had really good fun in bringing in. Sorry, I lost my throat today. I had a really good time also bringing other people into Ring of Honor. You mentioned Villain Enterprises. I had obviously the hand in bringing in Brody King and PCO. PCO I'd met wrestling in England maybe 2 years before that. And I just knew him as Pierre the Quebecer, and we got on really well back then, so it was really cool to be able to reach out to him later on and be like, hey, come here and get him a job. And I did that for many guys at Ring of Honor, a lot of the Lucha guys from Australia. So that was a big part of reason why I wanted to be part of the booking team. I wanted to, help other people, get other people jobs, get other people the spotlight that they maybe have not had before, But no, yeah, Ring of Honor, man. Like, what was cool about it as well is they would just trust you to do it. It wasn't like no one was giving you scripts, no one was really telling you what to do. You know what I mean? It was like, you know what you're doing, go out there and do it. You know what I mean? That to me is what wrestling should be. You know what I mean? So we had a lot of freedom there. A lot of freedom, and I think it showed. In our work.
Yeah, like you said, let me wrestle, let me do my thing out here.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's very cool. You talked about shining a light or getting a spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you definitely have that spotlight in New Japan, where you become a junior IWGP Junior
IWGP Jr Heavyweight Champion. Yeah, dude, that was crazy, man. Like, I became the IWGP. I think I competed in my first Best of Super Juniors, and maybe later that year. My timeline's all messed up, but I beat Will Ospreay for the Junior Heavyweight Championship, and then I went on to wrestle at the freaking Tokyo Dome to defend my Junior Heavyweight Championship in a 4-way with Ospreay, Hiromu, and Kushida. And unfortunately, I lost that match. But I was like, okay, if I'm going to be the Junior Heavyweight Champion, I'm going to lose the belt. I think doing it at Wrestle Kingdom at the Tokyo Dome in front of 45,000 people is a pretty good way to go out. No, you know what I mean? So, dude, that was such a dream come true for me, because a lot of my heroes, were guys like, Jushin Thunder Liger and Tiger Mask, all these guys that had been the Junior Heavyweight Champions, and then to carry that belt, which has their names on the belt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm the champion now. Like, my name is in that list with those wrestlers. Like, that's the dream come true. That for me, like a lot of people grow up being like, oh, I want to be WWE champion or whatever it is, and that's super cool. And again, that'd be great. But like that for me was like bigger than doing that. You know what I mean? Because that's the style of wrestling I like. That's what I grew up on. That's what I fell in love with. So again, coming into Tokyo Dome, Wrestle Kingdom, IWGP Jr Heavyweight Champion. Like, you can't, for me, I couldn't get any bigger than that, you know?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And you were also part of the Bullet Club over there. What was that like for you?
Dude, Bullet Club, real fun time. It's funny because when I joined Ring of Honor, I started riding with like the Young Bucks and Hangman Page. And, sorry, I'm terrible today. So I started riding with them already. It's before I was in the Bullet Club. And then New Japan wanted to bring me to Japan. And they were like, oh, we wanted to join Bullet Club. And I was like, oh, this is already kind of like a natural fit, I guess, you know. Dude, and at the time, Bullet Club was just, you know, so hot. Like, I'm sure you've all seen the t-shirts everywhere before. It was, you know, I really feel like, again, Bullet Club doesn't really get, you know, the praise that it deserves for its influence on the business. That Bullet Club t-shirt is probably the best-selling wrestling t-shirt of all time. Like, dare I say, maybe more than Austin 316. Who knows? I don't know. But that influence it had, and that, you know, doing the shows, it was so cool because it was, you know, 90% of the audience all wearing one version of the Bullet Club t-shirt. So it was Bullet Club or the Young Bucks or Villain Club. Dude, it was, yeah, a great time.
That was cool, man. Mm-hmm. And nowadays you're spending your time at CWA, right? Is that correct? Or what is? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, CWA. Yeah, I've been pretty busy. I've been out for CWA in Puerto Rico. I've been spending a lot of time in Mexico wrestling over there. I've been wrestling here in the States, in Atlanta for Mucha Lucha. I've been Germany for Unlimited Wrestling. I've been in Poland. So it's really cool, man, because like I really made a name for myself on the independents. You know, that was kind of how I built, you know, the villain character and built a name for myself, traveling to all these different places, you know, traveling to Australia and, you know, Europe, Mexico, Japan, all these places. And so now I get to do it again. And dude, I can't complain. Like, you know, my job is to travel to different countries, do what I love to do. It's super cool. Next week I'm in Germany. I'm the Unlimited Wrestling Champion. It's a big weekend there, the Wrestleville weekend. So I'm super excited, man. There's a lot of flying. It's pretty tiring, but I would say I'm used to it, but unfortunately you never really get used to these long flights. You don't, and today I've got to fly back to the East Coast. And it does get tiresome on your body. I think that's worse on your body than the wrestling part, you know? Yeah. My body can take bumps and stuff, but sitting on a flight like this for 5 or 10 hours, it's pretty brutal. But, you know, if that's the worst thing about the job, then, you know, I should, you know, think of myself pretty lucky, pretty grateful.
Very cool, wrapping it up here, you've had so many matches with so many people, so many continents, like you said, countries. Who are some of your favorite matches against, and who would you have liked, you know, to still wrestle in your career?
It's a good question. You know, again, for me, getting to wrestle like my people I looked up to was really, really cool. So I had the chance to wrestle Rey Mysterio a handful of times, and for me, he was like my absolute favorite growing up, you know. So getting to wrestle him was amazing. Getting to wrestle Jushin Liger in a bunch of different places, again, like, you know, that was amazing. I think if you ask the fans, you know, I had a bunch of great matches with Ospreay, you know, I wrestled Ospreay in the UK, in Germany, in Japan, in the States, all these different, you know, we got to take that match and do it around the world, and every time it kind of got better and better. So I think that helped put me on the map as well. So matches with him, matches with Chris Hero, guys like Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole. I mean, I've been very fortunate. I've pretty much worked with, you know, everyone in the business, you know, from your AJ Styles and your Kevin Owens and, you know, all the top guys in WWE, all the, you know, in Japan I've wrestled Tanahashi, Okada, Naito, all the top guys, you know. So, you know, working with the Young Bucks, you know, just, you know, two of the best wrestlers, one of the best tag teams of all time. Dude, I've been very, very fortunate, you know, and that they bring me up to their level, you know. Like, I don't know, I wouldn't be as good as actually, it sounds like I'm blowing smoke on my ass, but I owe a lot of my success to those guys I got in the ring with, you know, because they bring you up to their level and they make you look good. And like I said, I wrestled a who's who in professional wrestling, so yeah, it'd be hard to narrow it down to just one guy. But I think honestly, the opportunities to wrestle like my heroes, even though I'm the villain. I think that's what I'm most grateful for. Yeah.
Very cool, man. And you're just one of those wrestlers that you just always got to watch out for. Who knows where you're going to be, where you're going to show up, where
That's
you're going to
true.
pop up at.
Absolutely.
Where can people follow you on social media?
I do the Instagram, the IG. I'm not hot for a Rob, but at Marty Scurll. I also have a YouTube channel, which I cover a bunch of stuff. I should have been filming this on my vlog, actually. I put a villain vlog out most weekends. So that's youtube.com/Marty Scurll. You can follow me on YouTube, follow me on Instagram. And yeah, I keep everyone up to date on what I'm doing on there. So please give me a follow and give me a like. And YouTube, give me a subscribe.
There you go. Thank you so much, Marty Scurll. Thank you so much for coming on to the show, bro. I
Thank you,
appreciate
Rob.
it.
Appreciate it. Thanks for
Thank you,
having
man.
me. Thank
For
you,
Marty
buddy.
Scurll, I am Heartthrob Rob. And if you like what you're watching, then hop in the coffin. Follow us on social media at Coffin Radio. Coffin is spelled with a K. And that's all for today.
ASMR Coffin Radio.